guys transitioning from the military and coming out, and how Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu can be used, to help transition, help with anything that people struggle with when they're coming out. I mean, not only that, but even when they are deployed, right? So let's go into that a little bit. Nick, can you take us into that specific topic?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to pass it to Tyler real quick because I think that's a big part of his story. But the thing is to kind of tee him up is, you've got to understand that all walks of life come from this. We come from this, this tribal community, and whether you're in sports, whether you're in the military, whether you're in law enforcement, or what are the things called in college, Gareth? Delta Phi champion, or I don't know, whatever.
Fraternities.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever. You're always a part of some tribe. And the problem is we attach our identity to that tribe. And then when that tribe goes away, we're like, well, who the hell are we? You know what I mean? I'm kind of lost here. And I think that's a big thing that jiu-jitsu can do. So I'll kind of turn it over to Tyler and to listen to his kind of story, because he found it relatively quickly after the military, which essentially saved his life. So,
wow.
Yeah, you basically hit the nail on the head. I can't say enough good things about what jiu-jitsu has done for me, especially transitioning. I wish, that someone could have just come and told me that that's what I needed, right? Because I was just confused and lost and just struggling all around. And someone luckily invited me in, and I went and started training and never stopped. This was 2010, and a lot of things were happening. I wasn't sure what was going on with my life, trying to do some school stuff, some family stuff, and just had zero purpose other than that, for myself, right? That tribe, people around me to push and make me, a better human, day in and day out, so that I could be a better spouse and, better father, all those sorts of things. I just needed somebody to come tell me, like, hey man, this is what you need. And it would have just been so much easier, because I struggled even learning jiu-jitsu, because it's not, you start and you're getting your ass kicked and you're like, what was this? What I need? I feel like I've gotten beat up enough, but if someone had just said, just hang out, make sure you stay, because I'm sure there's plenty of people that come in and then unfortunately they don't end up sticking around because no one's told them, like, all you have to do is just stay, be patient, learn, grow, and these people will become that group that you're missing, that family. And I can't say enough good things, and thank God I did find it. I was came out kind of struggling with tons of medications from the VA. Alcohol was obviously a part of it, thinking that was going to make me feel better in some sort of way, which is clearly not the case. Even while I was training, I was still struggling back and forth with all these sorts of things. And finally, it just kind of broke through.
I was just about to ask, Tyler, do you feel like, obviously, because we've talked about this, so like you struggled even within jiu-jitsu, but do you think that the fact that you were there, that was like a constant, that was like a foundational constant that you had to keep you from like going off the the deep end?
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what it was. Had I not had something like that,
you had no anchor. Other than that, it was your own anchor.
Long gone. Yes, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So just that one little nagging voice that, hey, don't go too crazy tonight. You're going to try to train tomorrow evening and get crushed, but it was enough just to keep me from just going, too far off that deep end. And then eventually, as I suffered through that, I realized this is not how I want to feel and grow as a practitioner. And I was falling in love with the sport and realized that could not be part of that. So finally,
I feel like so many people don't, like, if you don't find something like CrossFit or something like that, and you don't have, like, you're still going to go through your transition. You're going to have, peaks and valleys of what you go through, but you still have to, while you're going through that, you have to have this anchor, this foundation, something that's keeping you from going off. Like, it's like a lifeline while you're working through your shit.
Yep.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so you mentioned you wish someone had told you this, right? Like go train in jiu-jitsu, go stick with it. I mean, and I've spoken to so many vets that say like there's just not stuff out there for them, right? When they get out to transition, right? Is this something that should be part of it? Like go, hey, you need this aspect to your life to ground you, to keep you constant, to keep you there, to keep you looking forward for something for tomorrow.
Yeah,
I think that's laziness,
go ahead, Nick.
Brian.
Well, I'm sorry.
That's laziness. Oh, there's nothing else. There's nothing else out there for me. This was it. So you peaked in the military? That was the best that you got in your life? Was that? Come on, man.
But what I'm saying is, should the military actually create some programs, right, to when you transition out?
Here's the thing. I don't know. Are you guys vets?
I'm not.
No. Okay. This is a hard thing for vets to understand. The military's purpose is not to make veterans good civilians. The military's purpose is to go fuck shit up overseas and fight terrorists and win our nation's wars. All right. Yeah. So like the whole thing about like, oh, well, they should have done this and they don't have to do anything. You signed up. You're the one that volunteer. We're all volunteer service. And if you're going into special operations and these other special things, you're volunteering again. You can quit at any time and go back to the regular Marine Corps or the regular military. So this is an all volunteer service. The military, this is something I blame the Marine Corps. Look, I carved out my Marine. I don't know if you can tell. That's a huge scar. That was an EGA that I carved out of my arm because I blame the military for how my life was or how I felt or whatever it may be. But the fact of the matter is, it's not the military's job to make Nick a good civilian or make Tyler a good civilian. That was something that we were in service of. So, we can put it on them saying, could they have a program to get you out a little bit easier? Sure. But at the end of the day, that's not their mission. Their mission is to go fight and win our nation's wars.
That's a good point. I mean, hey, that's even more of a reason for jiu-jitsu organizations to get involved with that.
100%.
So, Gareth, you gonna jump in there? I think Gareth was gonna.
Yeah.
So I think, there needs to be that, emphasis and the availability, right? My biggest, the barrier objections I hear the most. I hear it a lot with LEOs is, oh, I don't have the time. It's way too expensive, and those are bullshit excuses. I mean,
100%.
I fucking literally swept the blood and sweat-soaked mats, unclogged toilets, scrubbed the piss-soaked floors at our first jiu-jitsu academy, recycled and wore the same sweat-soaked gi that smelled like a fucking dead whale.
Gets that cat piss smell to it,
And after rugby, after leaving Buenos Aires, Argentina, and almost severing my spinal cord and having a career-ending injury that derailed and ultimately caused a huge identity death, and I was in the deepest depths of darkness, depression, and despair, jiu-jitsu was that one gleam and glimpse of positive light, and it was fucking brutal. The first day on the mats, I got my ass kicked by a girl who was 120 pounds soaking wet. So for a dude who's
is that verified, Tyler? Can we verify that actually happened?
We need to review that role. That's the one we need.
Yeah.
We need to get.
Got to reenact that role.
I was a strong dude. I just got done playing international rugby, and I got my ass fucking beat for an hour and a half. And I was like, there's something to this. I need to learn this superpower that is grappling. And it was a strike and blow to my ego, but I think I needed to replace one hardship with another, and I replaced the hardship of my own mental battle that was waging the space between my own ears with jiu-jitsu, and at least it was a way for me to externalize those subconscious feelings, to express pain, the anguish, the adversity, and there's a lot leading up into that. It's not only the instant causation of depression, it's also the unearthing of all those subconscious traumas that we've received that all kind of come out and boil to the surface when you're going through an adversity. So for the 2 hours I was on the mats, I forgot about all that shit. I was solely focused on survival, not thinking about the past, thinking about the future, and you have one foot in the past, one foot just on the present. And if you're not present, not something present on a day-to-day basis, then you're getting inside your own head. You're thinking about the past, you're depressed. You're thinking about the future, you're anxious, right? Solely plugging into the moment of the now is what everyone needs. So some people get it through boxing. Some people get it through jiu-jitsu. I get it through motorcycle riding, right? Like yesterday, I like teetering on the line of life and death. And I think that's what gives, fortunately, all the things I love to do are the things that could fucking kill me. But Jiu-Jitsu is great because it gives people the ability to just block everything out, solely practice and focus in on the person in front of them. And it's an interchange and exchange of energy. You're literally exposing your soul to another human being. And it's the most intimate form of sport. I mean, there's a reason why, the Greeks were pancration, were wrestlers. Those are the original sports. You had the decathlon, running events, and you had grappling. It is hardwired and epigenetically linked to every atom and fiber in our body and soul. And so I think guys, especially, but also girls, need a fight, right? Jiu-jitsu gives you a fight, gives you that ability to tap into that inner caveman, that inner warrior. And then after you get done with jiu-jitsu, it's all good. The rest of your day, there's nothing that can be thrown your way that you don't have the mental fortitude and grit to overcome. And I think that is what it's fucking throwing yourself in the fire and battling through heat and pressure, and then emerging, maybe scathed, emerging triumphant nonetheless.
I think to Nick's point, it's like, the military, their job is to train you, not to set you up when you're done with your service. So, and I think there's a lot of awareness, generally getting bigger now, I think, more than it was years ago, about how much there is a need for jiu-jitsu for guys that get out of the service. That now it's really on us. It's not about us saying, oh, there should be services for us. No, we got to man the fuck up and do it on our own here. And but I think there's enough awareness now where people see this need. Now it's up to us, guys, and especially you guys, the vets coming out that do jiu-jitsu, that could be able to, start and get more than just doing a couple of events, and getting a bunch of guys that are veterans. We got to go, I think, something way bigger than that. And I think something will happen like that the more we do things like this.